This video is part 2 of our dividing using partial quotients and area models. Again, here's our teaks. This part, in part 2, we're not going to be using manipulatives, and so if you don't understand what I'm doing, I highly recommend going back, rewatch part 1 so you can see kind of why I do what I'm doing. Alright, the homeroom moms needed to bake a total of 338 muffins for Mother's Day. If each package of mix will make 8 muffins, how many packages of mix will be needed to make all of the muffins? So I'm looking at how many packages to make all the muffins. They need to bake a total of 338. And each package makes 8 muffins. I need to know how many packages that is. So I wrote my equation kind of over here in word form. So that way we make sure that we know what we're looking for. 338 muffins are needed, divided by 8 muffins per package equals how many packages are needed. So we're going to use the partial quotients and area model to find the quotient of 338 and 8. So here's what it looks like. First, I'm going to draw my area model. And this entire model is worth 338. And we're going to break that, divide it up, 3 groups here. That's our hundreds, because 300, our tens, and our ones. And we are dividing this by 8. So, if I gave each, so think of it as having 8 groups. If I gave each group 100, that'd be worth 800. And do I have 800? No, I don't. You know what? I want to make this bigger. So, give me 1 second here. Let's group it all together. There. Give me enough room to write, I hope. Okay. Let me rewrite that. That should give me enough. Okay, that would take 800. I only have 300, so that's not going to happen. I need to regroup, and so thinking about tens. So if I gave each one a 10, if I gave each of 8 groups a 10, that would be worth 80. I can go bigger. So, okay. If I gave them 2 each, that would be 160. Got 338 here. I can go bigger. If I gave each of them 30, that'd be 240. Keep going. 40 would be 320. I'm at 338. Maybe I can go bigger. Let's see. 50 would be 400. Oh, too big. Can't do that. So I'm going to give each group 40. That's worth 320. And so we're going to do 320 down here, subtract it. I get 18. Okay, let's scroll down here a little bit. Oh, that's not going to be helpful. Okay, so to get 320, I multiplied 40 times 8. I'm doing that 40 because that's going to come back to play here in a second. Okay, so I guess I'll use a different color. So then I need to do, I've got 18, so let's do it by ones. So, so I gave each one 1, that'd be 8. Each of those groups 2, that'd be 16. If I gave each of them 3, that would be 3 times 8 is 24. I don't have 24, I only have 18. So I have to give each of them 2. Means there's going to be 16 there. If I subtract, I have 2. That's going to be my remainder. And that 16 is from doing 2 times 8. Okay, so therefore my quotient is 40 plus 2. You see my 40 and my 2, which equals 42 with a remainder of 2. Now these numbers are right here. If I do 320 plus 16, gives me a 6, gives me a 3, gives me a 3. Oh, I've got 336. So let's say 338. That's what this remainder is for. Plus 2 equals 338. Okay, so you can kind of see that that's where I have that broken up. So here is my quotient, 42 remainder 2. And because it's a little bit bigger than my smartboard, I'm going to have to use my mouse. Just kind of scroll up. So let's take a look over here. So they need to make enough packages to have 338 muffins. Well, nope, that's not going to work. I have to use my mouse. Well, if it's going to be, oh, excuse me, 42 with a remainder of 2, let's talk about what that remainder of 2 means. The remainder of 2 means that I'm going to need to get another package. And here's how I know. If I do 42 times 8, 42 packages times 8 per package, let's see what we get. That's going to give me 16. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 more is 33. Gives me 336 muffins. That's not enough. Okay? If I only have 336 muffins, I need 338 muffins. So that means that I have to add another package. Okay, so if I do 43 packages, I'll have enough. So that's my answer is 43. Okay, Mr. Higgins purchased a package of bolts from Ace Hardware. The box contained 1,084 bolts. If Mr. Higgins wants to put the bolts into 8 equal containers, how many bolts will be in each container? So, draw my unit bar here. There is 1,084. And there's 8 containers. I want to know how much in each container. So let's draw our area model out. Okay, so this whole thing is worth, that's not going to be big enough. This whole thing is worth 1,084. Because I've got thousands, I'm going to break this up into thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay. And all this is divided by 8. So if I give each one 1,000, that would be worth 8,000. I don't have 8,000. Okay? Gosh. I'm going to have to make this bigger again. That is the downside to this, is you have to make it kind of big enough so that way you can write. Okay. So I'm just going to adjust my lines here. Hundreds, give myself a little bit more room there. Tens and ones. Okay. So I've got 1,084. Let's do it by tens. If I gave each one 10, that would be 80. 20. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys are probably yelling at me. We're doing hundreds. So 100 would be 800. Give each group 200, that would be 1,600. I got 1,084. That's too much. So 800 it is. Okay. I'm going to have to scroll down so I have enough room. Okay. So I'm going to take my 800. I'm going to have to subtract it from 1084. It's a 4, that's an 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. To get 800, I did 100 times 8. Okay, so now I've got 284. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to do by tens. By 10 would be 80. 20 would be 160. I'm trying to get 284. 30 would be 240. I'm getting closer. 40 would be 320. Too much. So it's going to be right here. 240. 240, I got that by multiplying 30 times 8. So I've got this 100, I've got this 30 here. Subtract it, that's a 4. 8 minus 4 is 4, so I got 44. Okay, I'll come up here. 1 would be 8. 2 would be 16. 3 would be 24. 4 is 32. 5 is 40. 6 is 48. I don't have 48. 5 it is. So I have to subtract 40, and I got that by multiplying 5 times 8. Subtract it, I get 4. So I have a remainder of 4 down here. So 100 plus 30 plus 5 would be 135 with a remainder of 4. Now, means I've got a remainder of 4 bolts. 4 bolts that did not make it into the bin. Is that okay? Yes, that's okay, because I'm not going to cut bolts into eighths to have equal amounts in there. So there's going to be 135 bolts in each container. Again, rewatch the video if you have any problems. And then go ahead and write it down onto your whisk and bring it to class.